Good evening, friends. Today is Saturday night, about 10:43 p.m. So just wanted to talk about a little setup that has been striking me. So let's first go to the whiteboard and talk about the concept. Okay, now this is the whiteboard. Now here, say you have a market which is having the previous day as a downside day. So I am using this black candle as a downside candle. Now what's important here is this is the low, this is the high. An important concept in the market is the lows are made by bulls, the highs are made by bears. So it's very obvious that there are sellers sitting here. Now this is a precondition one. If this is not available, you can have another precondition, which is an inside bar, which means the previous candle can be green or red, and you have an inside bar. Again, inside bar, you have contraction, and because sellers are here, if the market gets above these couple of highs, these are both different cases, then often the chances that you see great upside. Now, some of you will say that these things fail sometimes. Please show me what does not fail. Yes, they fail, and for that, you can keep a stop loss. 1% type of stop. Also, you can take precautions and see if this high is getting sustained, because when this works out, this gives you a 1:3, 1:4, sometimes 1:10 type of profit. Once we see examples, you'll realize, and because I want to keep the video short, I will use examples from our recent trades. So let's look at the trades we gave yesterday. This is Maruti. Let me just expand the chart. You can see here the previous day was a red candle. So if Maruti is one of those 10, 15 stocks that you track, the high of this previous red day should be in your alerts. Now let's go and see what Maruti did once it crossed the previous day high. Okay, this is the previous session high. So Maruti started to cross above the previous session high. It consolidated, again broke out. So even if you got in somewhere here, look at the kind of move you got on Maruti. Okay, very important, there should be no congestion or price action to your left. Again, Let's look at another chart which we brought in as BPST but actually worked much better yesterday. This is Infosys. Okay, if we look at the daily chart, previous session was a down day. Okay, and this is previous day high. Okay, so Infosys opened up previous day high, gave it a lot of resistance, and you can see the price action is slowly showing you that it is going up. And finally, this was the kind of move you got. So combined price action plus yesterday's high plus previous session being down. Again, another call that we gave was ECS. Previous session is a red bar, and once you get past the highs of the red bar, it kind of stopped here and then finally it started to take the previous high out. Now the caution here is that do not try to take this trade if the previous bar is a big green bar. Why? Because in that case, the next day could be a sideways to choppy day. So the precondition I have for you is either a narrow range bar or a red bar. The, the color of the bar previous to narrow range bar can be green or red. The logic is very simple. Above the high, there are sellers, and once those sellers, their stops are hit, they take the market high. Everything is applicable in the reverse also on the downside. So you can easily make a list of stocks where the previous day was down, put in the alerts, the previous day high, in case of a bull market like we are in today. In case of a bear market, you can use the previous day low. So in both these circumstances, chances are you will have a winning trade. I could have, given more examples, but I think broadly you get the point. Let me just show you the Nifty chart here. On the daily, you had a red bar. As soon as the high of the red bar was crossed yesterday, you got a fairly strong rally. Okay. Now, somebody would say that maybe even here we crossed the high, but immediately it was rejected. Let's go back and see further, right? The precondition is narrow range or previous day red bar. Here, while previous bar high is crossed, the previous day is not a red bar. Okay, again, here it opened above previous day high, but as you can see, it quickly collapsed back. So the idea is that after the breakout from a previous day high, you need to look at price action. But overall, like, you will find enough instances where things have worked out beautifully. Here you had this sort of open, which is a narrow range bar. So again, you have this supply zone, and once this supply zone is crossed, you can see you get a very clear kind of upside. Now, this is a very special market because it keeps making new highs. Okay, what I am talking about, that even in a normal market, what can happen is that you can easily find uh, this setup on individual stocks. On the index, you haven't seen a red day for a long time. But if you keep this kind of criteria, as you can see here, on several days, the market is actually closing higher, but you have a red day. Each time you have a red day, you are in play. Red day or a narrow range day. So from now on, whenever you see a red day, you should get on the alert, whether it is index or individual stocks. Wherever you see a narrow range plus yesterday high gets crossed, or red day and yesterday high gets crossed, you will get momentum. That should be it. Take care. Test this out on paper before you put real money. And I'm sure your results will be very encouraging. Keep stops as always, and please consult your financial advisor before taking action.